just can't help herself. A serial wedding thief has been caught in the act again.
She just happened to come to the wrong wedding.
Sandra Henson has just been arrested for stealing from a wedding right after she got out of prison for the same crime.
That is not an invited guest. She's accused of being a serial wedding thief.
We first told you about Henson in 2021. The bridal bandit was suspected of hitting at least a dozen weddings across 3 states. Surveillance video from churches and wedding venues captured her posing as a wedding guest, helping herself to envelopes of cash from the gift table, putting a real damper on what should have been the happiest day of these newlyweds' lives.
All of us just want her stopped.
They got their wish. Shortly after our report, Henson was caught, convicted, and sentenced to 5 years in prison. But she was released early. Then, last weekend, as Lexi and Brady Butler were saying their I do's, Henson was up to her old tricks, sneaking around a back room. She was caught red-handed with cash stuffed in her bra by Lexi's sister, and they called the sheriff. We caught up with the newlyweds on their way back from their honeymoon.
It's a shock to everybody that this has just happened, but then they look up her name. That is when he was like, oh my goodness, she's been on Inside Edition. And so I realized, like, okay, this is not her first time.
Get this, police found a notebook in Henson's possession with a list of weddings that she presumably planned to target. How did she come by the information? Could it be from the knot.com? Every wedding on Henson's hit list is on the Knot, with the exact time and location of the ceremony. The so-called bridal bandit has been released pending her trial. Until then, let's hope she doesn't ruin any more weddings. You think this might be her final heist?
We hope so. We hope so.
It's a police pursuit you'd likely see on a California highway, but this one happened in a small Minnesota town.
I bet you I've seen him 6, 7 different times. Smiling, hooting and hollering. He was having a good time.
Neighbors like Troy Flatness watched as cops chased the cement truck for an hour and a half. Inside, they say, an 11-year-old kid driving.
Certainly not your normal traffic stop.
Police say the boy saw the truck parked on the street with the keys inside and took off on his joyride. He even sideswiped 2 law enforcement vehicles as he hit 70 miles an hour.
Everybody was out with their cameras. It looked like a parade.
The preteen is expected to be charged as a juvenile. No word on why he took the cement truck for a spin or how his feet even reached the pedals.
We have eyes on him coming down the tower.
1 minute he's on top of the world.
You made it all the way to the top? Yeah.
The next minute he was in handcuffs. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says 19-year-old Trent DeJulis climbed to the top of a cell tower in Tampa and documented the journey for social media. Authorities used a helicopter to locate DeJulis, and they say they caught him in the act. But they didn't have to climb up the tower to arrest him.
He's coming down the stairs to you.
The video shows once he got his own video, he climbed down the tower and surrendered to police who were waiting to arrest him. He's charged with trespassing, but has not entered a plea. He's set to be arraigned on the charge later this month.
She's a mom accused of driving under the influence and charged with felony child neglect because she had her young son in the car. But it turns out she wasn't drunk.
Put your hands behind your back.
What?
You're under arrest for DUI.
What?
It's the moment a nurse is arrested for DUI, yet she's completely sober.
My life was upended because of the police.
Single mom Katie Slayton was also charged with felony child neglect because her son was in the car. He was actually placed in foster care for 9 weeks.
It was the worst pain I think I've ever experienced in my life. It was like a part of me was missing.
Katie Slayton's nightmare began when she picked up her son from daycare in Franklin, Tennessee. A daycare worker called cops to say her behavior seemed erratic. Before she drove away, police came and gave her a field sobriety test.
Follow my finger with your eyes on,
which she failed miserably.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Okay.
We're going to stop you because you're going to fall down, okay?
The police report claims she showed uncoordinated behavior and slurred speech, But Katie says she was simply exhausted by grueling 12-hour shifts in her hospital's COVID ward. It turned out she had also taken her regular prescription dose of Adderall for attention deficit disorder, which may explain some of her reaction.
It dawned on me, like, oh my God, if I don't pass this sobriety test, I may not be taking my son home. Once I realized that, I started shaking.
It took 6 months for a blood test to come back negative for alcohol. The charges were dropped. How can a field sobriety test go so wrong?
There could be many reasons why someone fails a quote-unquote sobriety test, meaning, you know, the various things that you're asked to do while out on the street. 1, you might be a little tired. 2, you might not be very coordinated regardless of whether you're taking drugs or not.
I knew I hadn't done well on the field test, but I really thought that they would be able to tell the difference between someone who was nervous or somebody who's tired and somebody who's actually impaired.
You're under arrest for DUI. What?
Police tell us they reviewed the footage and determined the officers made the correct call. They also point out a judge determined there was probable cause for the arrest.
With these cuffs, Ivy wed? Instead of a honeymoon, a bride and groom spent their wedding night getting in trouble with police. Strangers witnessed a fight at a Canadian bar after the couple's wedding. The 36-year-old bride was charged with assault, police told InsideEdition.com, and the groom was charged with mischief. Their names have not been released. It's unclear who started the fight or what it was about.
This is what happens when you turn to the dark side. A man dressed as Chewbacca was arrested on Sunday in Odessa, Ukraine, while campaigning for Darth Vader, which is the legal name of a mayoral candidate for the Internet Party of Ukraine. Ukrainian police say the man dressed as a Wookiee was accused of violating a Ukrainian law that forbids campaigning on Election Day and was taken into custody after failing to show police his ID. Photos of Chewbacca in an arraignment hearing appeared on Twitter. The man inside the costume was reportedly fined the equivalent of $7.50. After his release, Chewie reportedly said that he could not pay the fine because his money is in an intergalactic bank that doesn't have a branch on Earth.
While most people do their best to stay out of jail, these women couldn't wait to get in. This 99-year-old Dutch woman named Annie was all smiles when police cuffed her, all so she could cross it off her bucket list. Her niece arranged the fake arrest and police played along. She was handcuffed and put in a cell for a few minutes, though the police reportedly have no idea why she wanted to do it. And not too long ago, another elderly woman crossed the same item off her bucket list. Edie Sims laughed her way to the police station after friends at her senior center arranged for her to take a ride in a police car. It was all in good fun, and officers even wrote up a mock warrant for her arrest. If the cops are looking for a charge, we suggest disorderly conduct.
Michael, please, show me your hands.
To say this suspect was caught off guard is an understatement. Police in Lakewood, Colorado released this body cam of an arrest of a man wanted for burglary. They say a drone was used to track him to the location. He may have let his guard down too much, unaware that police were hot on his trail. When cops opened the door to the bathroom, they found the suspect in a compromising position.
Hands up, hands up.
Pants down and sitting on the toilet. And police were not about to let him finish what he started, demanding he surrender immediately.
Walk towards me.
The department said on Facebook, quote, "While we see a lot of things in the line of duty, we had no clue what awaited us this time."
Michael, please, show me your hands.
This dad is on trial after being arrested for, of all things, taking away his daughter's cell phone.
The police department shouldn't be interfering with my ability to discipline my daughter.
Ronald Jackson says the drama began when his daughter Skylar sent mean text messages to the daughter of his new wife, who is now 7 months pregnant.
My daughter brought me the phone and said, "Look at this." I read them, and they were hurtful.
So Jackson says he did what lots of parents would do. he confiscated Skylar's cell phone.
I don't see that as being a cruel, unusual punishment.
Jackson thought the matter was settled until his ex, Michelle, filed criminal charges.
As a mom, I am upset because, number one, the property belongs to me.
That's when police in Texas came knocking on his door.
This is the actual cell phone.
This is.
You still have it?
Yes.
Why not just give the phone back?
I had to make sure that I stood my ground and showed that, you know, when she's with me, I will be able to parent her as I see fit.
Jackson was arrested. The charge, theft of property.
Handcuffed you?
Handcuffed me, put me back in the car, and took me to jail.
The case ended up in a Dallas court. But is there something more here than meets the eye? Ronald Jackson believes the real reason he was arrested is that his ex is now dating a police officer from the local department. In other words, he claims he's now the victim of police bullying. Your ex, the mother of your daughter, is dating a cop. Do you think that had anything to do with how this thing ended up going so far?
I couldn't imagine it would have gone this far without that type of buddy system going on.
Local authorities said that was never an issue. The case went to a jury trial, and 15-year-old Skylar testified against her father.
It's tragic that it's come this far.
After 2 days of testimony, a remarkable thing happened. The judge actually directed the jury to find Ronald Jackson not guilty.
It was a huge weight off my shoulders.
But victory is bittersweet. He showed me this letter from his daughter.
I have a letter that she gave me where she wants me now to sign away my rights as her father. You know.
Jackson says his relationship with his daughter is now all but destroyed, all because of a cell phone.
It's not my fault the truck don't serve.
True, but it is allegedly your fault that the truck was in the ocean. Florida's Volusia County Sheriff's Department was called to New Smyrna Beach because a truck was driving along the sand and in the water. Authorities say the driver drove around a closed gate marked "Do Not Enter." Eyewitness video caught the white truck swerving while navigating through the waves not long before high tide.
It's not my fault the truck don't serve. I thought it was a service.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be driving on the beach when the gates are all closed.
Pedestrians and bicyclists have free access to New Smyrna Beach 24 hours per day. For 6 months of the year, drivers who purchase a pass are allowed to drive or park along the beach during specific hours. But according to the driver, he didn't know he was in Florida.
I thought I was in England.
You thought you were in England? Yeah. You're not in England.
Are we not hearing this anymore?
No. Signal one or what?
Can I get in trouble for that?
Yeah.
Deputies say the driver was charged with failure to pay vehicular access fee and was brought to jail on $200 bond. Not a typical day on the job.
Fantastic. That'll make the Facebook page today.
A man suspected of driving under the influence thought he could impress the cops with his acrobatics. Cape Coral police in Florida say they were called to a local McDonald's because a customer at the drive-thru was said to be passed out behind the wheel of his vehicle. When they arrived on scene, cops say they found 30-year-old Christopher Bidzinski and asked him to perform a sobriety test. But he failed to follow their instructions, and cops say he started doing cartwheels instead. Bidzinski's skills failed to impress the officers, and he was booked for DUI. He's due in court next week.
An adorable mother-son moment was captured at the Fort Worth Zoo. Mama gorilla Gracie was seen tickling her son Bruno, who was reveling in the attention.
A man breaks into a convenience store for a pack of cigarettes, but then pays for it, police say. Can someone tell him that's not how it works? Check out these surveillance pics of it all going down at a store in New Mexico. The alleged burglar even holds up the smokes and the $6 for the cameras to capture. Detectives say the suspect, Ellis Batista, pounded on the store's front door several times to get a worker to open up for him. Apparently, the store operates 24/7, but no one was working at the time and the door was locked, according to police. Batista allegedly drunk at the time, then kicked part of the door open, causing $800 worth of damage, investigators explain. Remember, the cigarettes only cost $6, but thanks to the recorded payment, Batista was only charged with breaking and entering. Detectives note a Walgreens, which sells cigarettes and is open 24/7, was right next to the convenience store. But maybe they were $7 there.
This guy is in trouble with the law for, get this, not returning a movie he rented 14 years ago. And the movie is far from a classic. It's the critically panned Freddy Got Fingered starring Tom Green.
And I was just borrowing one of your suits until I could get enough money to buy one of my own.
Now children, gather round. Remember these? In the days before DVDs and Netflix, this is how your parents watched movies at home, on VHS tapes. This store is one of the last remaining that still rents VHS movies. James Myers says he was driving his daughter to school in North Carolina.
I got pulled over for a bad brake light. They ran my driver's license.
He couldn't believe what happened next.
He did tell me, you have a warrant from 2002 for a failure to return a VHS cassette tape from a video store, a local video store. I thought it was a joke.
You got handcuffed?
They handcuffed me, yes sir. They searched me, they took my belt, went through my wallet, patted me down.
And what about Tom Green? Remember him? He used to be married to Drew Barrymore for about a year. Now on tour in Australia, the actor actually called James when he heard about the bust.
We had a good laugh about it, and I think it's sort of an example of how, bureaucracy can get out of control.
Lawyer Adam Seifer of the Seifer-Flato law firm represents James.
But the fact that it's made its way 14 years down the pike is crazy.
Right now, James says all he can do is have a good laugh.
It's an art heist that could be a scene right out of the movies. But this one actually happened, and in Scottsdale, Arizona, of all places. A drone was used to find the suspected thief on the rooftop of the building. Police say he broke into an art gallery, stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars in paintings. They were reportedly some very famous ones by Pablo Picasso and Andy Warhol. The gallery's owner called 911 after getting an alert about alarms going off. When she got there, police say she noticed art missing and also heard something going on above her. Turns out police say the suspect was on the roof hiding. Several officers and a canine went up to check it out. There he was, lying face down on the ground with his arms out. A look around the roof, police say they noticed artwork hidden scattered throughout, valued at $250,000. The suspect was arrested and now faces burglary charges.
You can get pulled over for driving a backhoe too. It happened to this guy. As police tailed him, dash cam footage shows the driver swerving onto the shoulder of the road. Officials pulled the machinery over and identified the driver as 56-year-old William Campbell. They claim he admitted to not having a valid driver's license before arresting him for driving while intoxicated. He's been charged with driving with a suspended license, careless driving, and having an open alcohol container. Authorities say Campbell has had 7 DWI convictions since 1980.
Where's my weapon? Where's my weapon?
A man drops his shorts bearing all in the middle of a neighborhood and in front of several deputies. Deputies in Flagler County, Florida say they were called to the area after a report of someone acting belligerently and arguing with a woman in the street. The suspect, deputies say, is Sean Madden.
What address? Give me the address, because he said the same. What address? Who called other than that mother standing right there? Where? Where?
Now because you
Four cop cars. Come on.
How much you had to drink today?
I don't give a.
So listen,
no, let's go. Let's go. I'm swinging on everybody. I'm swinging on everybody. I give a.
Body cam video shows Madden yelling at the officers, who responded to the scene. During the exchange, he drops his shorts.
What I do? I ain't burning this shit. Where's my weapon? Where's my weapon? Where's my weapon?
He eventually got on the ground and was taken into custody. Madden was charged with several crimes, including disorderly intoxication, assault on an officer, and for indecent exposure.
State troopers in Vermont say when they tried to arrest a man, his dad tried to attack them with an excavator machine. The state police say 2 troopers went to arrest 24-year-old Brandon Tallman after he allegedly had an altercation with his neighbor. But as they attempted to handcuff Tallman, the troopers say his mother tried to stop them. And then his father maneuvered his excavator's bucket near the troopers and their vehicles, causing them to retreat.
For all available units, I've got 343 and 254 in a 1010.
Now the whole family faces charges in connection with the incident. Brandon Tallman has pleaded not guilty to aggravated assault, burglary, unlawful mischief, and resisting arrest. His father, Wayne, is charged with aggravated assault on protected officials, resisting arrest, impeding, and reckless endangerment. The mother, Amy, was given a citation for impeding and is ordered to appear in court in August.
Most people who get arrested make a request to call a lawyer. But this man had another burning question on his mind.
Can you get my ring, please? Will you let me get this ring so I can provoke? Right here, smoke.
Police in Oklahoma showed up to arrest Brandon Thompson, who had 6 felony warrants out for his arrest during his 4th of July barbecue. It happened to be his 35th birthday, and the same day he planned to pop the question to his girlfriend.
It's unlocked. I appreciate everything you know to do.
Police body cam captured the moment before they took him to jail when he got down on one knee to propose. And she said yes. The cops even moved his handcuffs to the front of his body so he could put the ring on her finger himself. Thompson was reportedly charged with possession of a firearm after a felony conviction, possession of a controlled substance, and failure to appear in court. It's unknown when the two will be able to tie the knot, but at least now they have a recording of this memorable moment.
You guys, this is bad.
It's the stunning moment a TV reporter was arrested during a live broadcast.
Lay flat, please. You guys, he's a national correspondent. You cannot do this.
News Nation's Evan Lambert was reporting live from a press conference by Ohio Governor Mike DeWine about the train crash that threatened to send toxic chemicals into the air.
You'll learn the latest. Nicole?
Police asked him to stop broadcasting while the governor was speaking, and he appears to comply. But moments later, cops confronted him. He was escorted out, then suddenly things turned ugly. He was forced to the floor and handcuffed.
Can you please loosen this because it hurts?
Lambert and other reporters protested as he was taken away in handcuffs.
It is literally my job to do that.
Why are you arresting?
Watch your wall. What do you want to say to people watching this?
It's tough to do your job in America in 2023.
I spoke with News Nation's D.C. bureau chief, Mike Vaquera. This was going down in a gymnasium where it can be echoey. Was Evan's voice booming over the governor's press conference?
That was after Evan had finished his live reporting. That was when the police decided to manhandle Evan and bring him out into the front hall, the vestibule there of the gymnasium, put him on the ground, on his stomach, handcuff him and take him out. People can look at the video and judge for themselves. They can listen to the audio and judge for themselves.
Lambert was charged with disorderly conduct and criminal trespassing. Governor DeWine said the arrest should not have happened.
That was wrong. And it was nothing that I authorized, and certainly it would be something that I would not want to see happen.
Lambert was released on $750 bond 5 hours later. He spoke with Ashley Banfield.
No journalist expects to be arrested when you're doing your job.
You guys, this is bad.
I don't remember any stories of Santa needing a sledgehammer. But this Santa isn't going out on his traditional Christmas gift run. He and his elf are actually law enforcement officers with the National Police in Peru, headed to bust suspected drug dealers in Lima. And they got what they came for. Officers say they found drugs and weapons in the home of the suspected kingpin. His arrest was a gift for the community, as officials say the location of his alleged operation was very close to a school.
What's wrong is you try to steal a car, but your buddy stole the car.
Police in California had a similar idea to catch shoplifters at a Target in Riverside. Officials say not only did they catch people taking items from the store, they also caught a car theft. The suspect was confused as to why an elf was pulling a gun on him, while the other suspect wasn't willing to comply with officers' commands. So Santa came in for the takedown.
Get him, Santa!
A word to anyone looking to ruin the holidays for others: justice may come when you least expect it.
I'd rather be doing them push-ups than going to jail.
Especially when it means you get a second chance.
See, while we think the police is so bad, they're not all bad. He decided he wanted to be smoking weed on the property, so instead of going to jail, this is what they making him do.
To avoid a possible arrest,
Struggling too.
this kid did 200 push-ups at the cop's request.
So he still got a chance to change his life around and get a job and go to college.
A woman walking by caught the moment on camera and praised the officer for not taking the boy to jail.
Well, thank you, officer. Because he could have been like these young black guys that's out here getting shot at and killed.
The cop tells the woman that in high school, coaches would force football players to do push-ups to make them think twice about doing certain things, and use that as his inspiration. Now she's using what she saw to motivate others.
I'm gonna sure show this video to my son, so if he ever decides to do something as stupid as smoking weed on property, he'll think twice.
She also posted the video to social media, saying, "We need more cops like this."
Stop! You're being detained! The sound of hooves galloping through a drugstore parking lot is not what people expect to hear. But in New Mexico, law enforcement may still arrive on horseback.
Being detained! Albuquerque police! Stop! You're being detained!
Police say they were about to start a patrol shift and had just gotten the horses out of a trailer when a call came in about a suspected shoplifter at a Walgreens drugstore.
Stop! Stop! You're being detained!
The suspect ran into oncoming traffic trying to avoid the officer on horseback.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! You're being detained!
Eventually, the suspect was surrounded by 3 large horses and officers, but he continued to walk in circles.
You are being detained for suspected shoplifting!
One of the officers dismounted and put the suspect in handcuffs. According to police, he allegedly stole $230 worth of merchandise from the store. There were no sirens or flashing lights, but these officers and their horses still got the job done.
Hey, stop! You're being detained!
They're okay. But this tumble on a motorcycle had to hurt, and that's why we wear protective gear.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tori Shaw.
Talk about high temps. A weather anchor who worked at a TV station in Kentucky was busted for growing marijuana at her home. State police say they were tipped off about the operation and performed what's called a knock and talk at the home. Troopers say they got enough evidence to obtain a search warrant. Inside, they say they found pot plants, guns, silencers, storage boxes with ammunition, among other things. 32-year-old Victoria Shaw Smoyer, who goes by Tori Shaw on air, and her 35-year-old husband, Tyler Smoyer, were arrested and charged with cultivating marijuana. The station Smoyer worked for posted a story about her arrest on their website. No word on whether she'll stay on the payroll or if she'll team up with the former Alaskan reporter who quit her job live on air for her cannabis company.
I quit. If you think you've gotten away from police, maybe you shouldn't post about it on TikTok. One motorcycle driver may have just learned that lesson, according to authorities. In early December, the Georgia State Patrol pursued a motorcycle through 2 counties, but ultimately lost contact with the vehicle. A lieutenant from the Clayton County Police Department heard about the chase and started doing some online digging. Police say the officer located videos on both TikTok and YouTube that appeared to be recorded during the pursuit, but the investigative work didn't stop there.
The motorcycle featured in these videos was a Triumph Triple Street RS. The bike was relatively rare for that part of Georgia, with only one Triple Street RS registered in the area. Clayton County Police say their officer reached out to the Georgia State Patrol with the suspect's username and street address. It resulted in 12 warrants, and according to police, the suspect who created those videos is now in custody. Next time, this driver probably won't post their highway escapades, or better yet, just slow down.
Target is about to close, you guys. We are about to spend the night in Target.
A YouTube couple is in hot water over this video, in which they claim to have spent the night in a Pennsylvania Target.
You guys, do not attempt what we attempt at home. We are entertainers.
They shouldn't have attempted it either, because West Whiteland police saw the video and arrested Johnson LaRose and Charlotte Fisher, known by their 18,000 YouTube subscribers as Saucy and Honey, for criminal trespassing and conspiracy. Surveillance video from inside the store shows them wandering around various sections while recording video of themselves. While LaRose and Fisher told viewers that they spent the night in Target, police say they left through an emergency exit around 3 a.m. and tripped the alarm. But the couple returned to the store when it opened to the public to resume recording their video. The couple was released on a $25,000 unsecured bond, and they're due back in court March 24th. Fisher told a reporter outside of court that she has no regrets, that they were living their life and having fun. But the couple said they would not be doing another stunt like this again. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Mara Montalbano.
It's no secret that an elf on the shelf can be mischievous.
Hi there.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
So it's a good thing Officer Lewis stepped in to help Beth Baranski and her Indiana family.
So last night, we had some fairies and Santa's helpers drink a little too much eggnog, and they were causing some issues. So we're trying to get them all home without taking them to jail. This guy says he knows you. So I just need to know if you guys can identify him or not. So would you be willing to take a look real quick? Yeah.
While off duty, he alerted Jax, Cash, Kane, and Jet about the trouble their pal Dumbledore got into during a wild night out.
Taking us all day to get them all home. And this is my last stop, so hopefully you guys recognize him. If not, I'm gonna have to take him to jail.
That's Dumbledore.
That's who?
Dumbledore.
Okay.
Now that Dumbledore is safe and back home, all is merry.
Well, give me a second. I got a container I can put him in. And hopefully he can be good for you guys, because he was not good for us.
Oh no. What do you guys say?
Thank you.
Until the next naughty adventure.
You guys carry him up there. Try to keep an eye on him. Keep him out of trouble, please. All right? Thank you.
Hey! You okay? Where's all your clothes out?
A naked woman is recorded on a police officer's body camera before stealing his truck. The video, released by police in Arizona, at first shows the officer giving the woman, identified as Lisa Luna, a blanket to cover up with as she sits in his truck. But she gets behind the wheel and takes off, cops say, leading them on a 70-mile chase through the desert.
I don't remember, it's a blur. But I remember at one point not having control.
Tell me what you did when your skin was burning.
I started taking off my clothes. I felt like I was gonna die, like I wanted to let go, like I didn't want to be here anymore.
The 31-year-old spoke from jail, claiming she was poisoned from drugs.
I remember feeling like my skin was burning, like I was on fire.
Luna remains in jail, facing several charges.
Just give me some bacon, jalapeno mac and cheese, brother. They're not gonna give me bacon mac and cheese. I just denied you the service. You can't come in here with an open ball of booze, dude. Think about it.
A 19-year-old college freshman, Luke Gaddy, got into a confrontation with a cafeteria employee at the University of Connecticut after being denied service because he was apparently drunk.
You're not welcome here. You're out. You have booze on your breath. You told me you're underage, but you're not welcome here. Now please leave.
The manager of the school dining hall says in the video that he wouldn't serve the teen because he walked into the building carrying a prohibited open bottle of alcohol and because they were out of the dish.
Your job is Joe, what are you, the manager of like Union Street Market of the location supervisor. Don't touch me. Don't touch you from that wall.
Oh yeah, I got it.
The student kept going off at the employee, getting into his face and cursing, and then began getting physical.
Oh my God!
I got him. Oh. You are down. You are down. Stay down. Stay down.
Police then came in and arrested the college student.
Get your hands behind your back. Just relax.
I'm absolutely relaxed. That's it. Let me get my shoes.
He has been charged with a breach of peace and criminal trespass. He's due in court on October 13th.
Hey. Whoa, what are you gonna? You get.
A man was caught on surveillance video trying to steal a snake from a pet store, police say. He walked into the Animal House Pet Center in Florida and was seen trying to place a small python down his pants. The store owner, Stephen Silk, told local news that the suspect had been in the store twice before, but they didn't notice that he allegedly stole an animal until after he left. But this time, after watching the surveillance video of him and having his photo posted behind the register, they jumped into action. Silk approached the man, who in surveillance video can be seen holding the snake. A scuffle ensued, and a customer who is also a security guard jumped in to help, while employees blocked the front door. 4 people in the store worked together and used a zip tie to restrain the man until police arrived. Authorities arrested Travis Treater, and he has been charged with petty theft and resisting a merchant. The owner suspects that he was selling the animals on Craigslist.
Hands down at your sides. I'm doing somersaults.
Perhaps this woman shouldn't have been doing cartwheels during a sobriety test.
I don't know why you're doing somersaults. Or cartwheels, whatever they're called.
This is police-recorded body camera footage of a 23-year-old testing out her gymnastic skills after being pulled over for suspicion of drunk driving.
Here, turn around and face me. Your whole body, face me. Okay. With your hands down, I don't know what you're doing.
Albuquerque police say they had gotten reports of Brielle Marshall driving recklessly in a neighborhood. When they found her car, the officer says he gave her several chances to comply with the DWI test.
We're not doing yoga. I don't know what you're doing. Put your hands down. Okay, we're done. Stand up.
When cops say she failed, Marshall was arrested and charged with battery, DWI, and having an expired license plate.
Right now you're under arrest now.
Now some body cam footage of what's usually a routine traffic stop, a driver pulled over for speeding. But this driver happened to be a district attorney, and she didn't stop for the cop. She kept driving till she got home. And now that the video is out, she admits she was stupid.
There is outrage today over the actions of a district attorney who refused to stop when a cop pulled her over for speeding. Instead, she drove home and sounded incredulous that she was even being questioned.
Sorry, I'm the DA. I was going 55 coming home from work.
55 and a 35.
I don't really care.
District Attorney Sandra Dorley of Monroe County, New York, gets the police chief on the phone to try and intervene on her behalf as her nasty tone continues.
I'm telling you why I stopped you. You didn't stop at all. Did you not hear my lights or sirens or anything?
No, I didn't actually. I was on the phone.
Why are you so upset at me? I'm doing my job.
The officer sure sounds patient.
Can you stay over here, ma'am? This is a traffic. This is illegal.
She passes the phone with the chief on it to the officer.
Ma'am, this is legal traffic stop. Can you please stay over here?
She's had enough and goes inside her house.
I understand the law better than you. Get out of my house.
Can you please go to the back of the vehicle?
I'm not going to.
She curses at him.
How am I being an
Pretty soon, reinforcement arrives. Today, DA Dorley is apologizing.
What I did was wrong, no excuses. I take full responsibility for my actions.
In her recorded statement, she blames her behavior on a tough workday and her husband's health issues.
I've been humbled by my own stupidity, and I am fully to blame. I will make this right. I ask for your forgiveness.
We showed the video to former LA Police Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey.
She was over the top with the way she treated the officers so poorly, so unprofessionally.
I am the DA.
Powerful stories that change the way you think. Impactful investigations that change the way you see.
How many times has your car been stolen?
5 times. Yeah.
What? Do you think that you're a responsible owner of tigers?
I damn sure do.
I love them. Heartwarming moments that change the way you feel. Amazing. Now available in a place that changes the way you watch TV. Inside Edition.